Record. I am so excited to be sharing this conversation with you today because it is perhaps one of the most meaningful, important, and serious ones that we need to have, which is about how to bring the profane into the conversation of things that are really meaningful, the things that we really care about. And sometimes, like, how do we find ways to commune along with communicate about the things that are closest and dearest to our hearts that perhaps are tough to talk about, or the things that you don't really want to look at, or not the kind of fireside chat that you think of as fun. But Alicia Dattner knows how to do that. She knows how to actually make some of the hardest topics that personally bring me to tears, make me, rather than laugh with tears, I often rather than cry with tears, I find myself laughing with tears, which is, a rare gift. And she is truly one of my favorite humans on the planet. I'm really honored to call her a friend, as well as someone who I find incredibly inspiring. And I will say, I don't think I ever told you this, when I brought one of my ex-boyfriends to one of your comedy shows in the Bay Area, he developed a true crush on you. It was very sweet. I felt really honored. I was like, bringing two people that I love together to enjoy, the spirit of life together, that's great. But she's one of those people that has this magnetic personality. And when she gets up to share and to talk and to tell, she opens doors. She opens doors to ways that you might not be able to access or consider on your own. I'm going to read her bio just so that you get grounded even more into what she's up to. She was I'm already laughing at your bio. That's great. It's a good sign. She was raised in an extremely liberal branch of Judaism known as an ashram. That's a joke, just so you know. Alicia's spiritual roots and propensity for poking fun at them go deep. Alicia did her first stand-up set as 18 and graduated from Hampshire College with a degree in stand-up comedy and filmmaking. Oh my God, did we ever talk about that my brother went to Hampshire? I don't think we did. I know, it's crazy. Anyway, the things you discover when you start collaborating with your friends. She also mentored, she was mentored by several talented comedians over the years. I'm not going to read all their names, but they're very impressive and they've got lots of accolades. And she's performed at Improv, the Gotham Comedy Club. She's played in San Francisco, New York. She's working on a Netflix special, and she's kind of epic and wonderful and delightful to be with. It is my great honor to hand over the mic to Alicia Dattner. I hope she doesn't. Well, I hope she does drop it. There you go. away we go.
Oh, Leah. Everybody give it up for Leah. Oh my God. What an amazing creation. Can we just acknowledge what an incredibly amazing creation you have made here in sacred storytelling, and all of the people you've brought together, and all of the magic and majesty, and just your deep dedication, not just to like telling a story or telling the old story, but truly reimagining who we can be as storytellers and what story is, and reminding us all of the epic mythological dimensions of storytelling. So I bow to your beauty and your brilliance, and I'm so honored to be in your company and here, and your friend. And so I just had to say all of that. Who is here for a little sacred silly? I know that you're in your, home, and you're on your computer and blah, 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 but like, let's just throw all that out, okay? Throw your keyboard and your notebook out, and let's just like go a little wild for a minute. So who's here for sacred silly? I want to see those hands moving. Who's here for sacred silly? Okay. So, number one rule in stand-up comedy is pump it up. We are not here at a library. This is, if you came for a show at a library at NPR, you are not gonna build up enough energy for a laugh. You're gonna build up some energy for a little thinky chuckle. Oh, that was clever. We are here to call in the energy of stand-up comedy, okay? And now I want to, this is gonna be a bit of a hybrid of a lot of different things. I I know I specifically said this is a, a class where we're understanding stand up, but like we're also going to zoom out and we're just going to get what is the energy of comedy? What is it? How do we access humor? How do we access the experience of something surprising us and something awakening us and shaking us such that this noise comes out and we feel joy in our beings? Now, I'm going to skip around a bit, but as I feel into that joy in our being experience, and we talk about we're in a library versus like, hey, we're in a comedy club, we're here to laugh. There is there is this idea of we're uniting the sacred and the profane, and we're uniting the lofty, clever ideas and the body and the joy and the pleasure and the visceral experience of what it is to be, to laugh. Laughter happens in the mind, but also in the body. This makes me think about how like how they found all these brain cells in the gut. The gut has brain cells. We have knowing and wisdom in our brain. So we say, oh, we have a thought and we think a thing, and then something happens in our bodies. That's not the only place that we experience life, that we have experiences. And so that's really not the only place in our brains that we experience pleasure and laughter. Leisure and laughter, maybe? I don't know. That's what my brain wanted to say. So we're laughing, and those real big gut busting, I'm getting dyslexic. Those real big gut busting laughs come from the belly, come from the body, come from being here, not from the thinky. So I want to tell you a bit about my journey. And then I want to get into it. Leah, if it's possible for me to get access to screen share, I want to show a little video. And yeah, we can do that. Okay, cool. Then we're going to get into what are you all here for? We're going to do a little journaling. I'm going to share some comedy secrets. And then we're going to do, hopefully, if we can do it, a breakout room exercise. So that is a thing I want to play with. Can we do that, Leah?
We can. And I always tell people that it is the best, the absolute best, the quadruplest best, if you can be on video, because you see what this woman's doing. She's giving so much energy right now, and it takes energy to give energy. And this whole thing of storytelling, I'll just give this one little thing, is it's a reciprocal action of the relationship of life, the cycle of life. We're actually healing the giving and receiving cycle of life every time we sit in a room and we become present for the exchange of story. And so welcome to our humanity. We love seeing your faces, and it really helps make a delicious class. And it's really also really enjoyable when we go into small groups, when people who can are there. Okay, that was back to our scheduled programming.
Thank you, Leah. I really appreciate that plug. It means so much to me to see you and feel you. And that's another part of comedy is like, when we're watching on Netflix, like we're watching this screen, and they've done studies where when you're with another person, you actually laugh more out loud than you do when you're alone watching something on TV. So the more embodied we can be together, the more we can feel and see each other, even if we're on the screen, like the better. So jump on in. So here's a little bit about me, you guys. I wanted to be a comedian since I was about 7. I would stand on the couch and jump and sing, and I would like make jokes. I had it. I totally had it. I don't know what it is. I don't know, but I do know I had it. I really wanted to be famous so I could make people laugh, so I could save the world. That didn't happen. But I did start writing jokes when I was 11. And I love being in front of people. I also have plenty of dysfunction and dysfunctional experiences in my life that made for great comedy fodder and also put a lot of obstacles in the way. Hence, I did a whole lot of other things. I went to India. I went to 12-step programs. I went to therapy. I did medicine journeys. I started doing laughter yoga, IFS. I became a life coach. I had a whole mountain of healing to do in my life, and it just felt like, you know what, it's time to take all of that healing and all of that pain and frustration and challenge and turn it into the gifts. So I've been doing that throughout my life since I started doing comedy, taking the rough stuff and finding the gift, and then finding more rough stuff and putting more obstacles in my way and finding the gift again. And here we go, like just kind of on a continual upward spiral. And that's really my central tenet of comedy, is be real, talk about what's frustrating to you and what's upsetting and what's painful, and be as vulnerable as you're willing to be, but not more. And then find a way to take that not so seriously and let other people see you so they can laugh along with you. That's pretty much how comedy works. When you come into a comedy class with me, I don't say, so what's funny? I say, so what's hard? What hurts? What's frustrating? What are you angry about? Because that's where all of my comedy comes from. And I love it because that's real. That's the juicy, gritty, dirty stuff that we then get to mine for pleasure, for the beauty, for the other side of the coin, which is lightness. So yeah, really getting into the body. I want to share this little video with you. I was going to share this. I don't even know where to go with this. It's like, what do I disclose and not? I was going to share a video of this guru who has this amazing, he brings together non-dual awakening and humor. And like, you see his people like spilling out laughter. And then I remembered, he's kind of a cult leader and probably sexual abuser. And I just figured, let's not show him. Let's show a baby laughing instead, even though I, on the outside love what he does. Anyway, here we go. Laughing baby. This is the original. I don't know why it's in another language. You don't need any information. Just listen to the baby laughing. And this is it. This is everything.
Hey, Alicia, I think you might need to turn your music original sound musicians on.
Oh, can you not hear it?
We get the first giggle and that's it.
All right. Well, because no. All right, let me try again. Hold on. Start again. Gosh. You'd think
in the top left corner when it says original sound, if you put 4 musicians on it.
Okay.
Plong. Plong.
Is that not the best thing ever? You guys, this is essentially all you need to know about comedy. That's the energy that I invite you to bring. Is, as a comedian, it should be as simple as bling, blong. Like, that's the level of simplicity you want to bring. Everything in comedy is better when it's shorter and simpler, and when it's done out of the energy of delight, of simply wanting to entertain and see the reaction in your audience, and out of love. Like, that's obviously the kid's parent, right? So out of love, out of joy, out of ease, just because they're both getting, it's not the right, I was going to say they're both getting off. They're both getting delight in a circular experience, and perhaps a figure eight experience of delight. And in your audience, what if your audience was that delighted? What if you were across from someone who was having so much fun experiencing you? It's a cooperation. It's a give and take. And so I know that you're wanting, like, tell me how to make the joke. This is the energetic vibration for you to get into. Anytime that you want to do comedy, anytime that you want to make people laugh, anytime you want to experience lightness, let it be this easy and this fun. There's a nugget. Let's go into the next piece. Okay. Let's see how many people we have here. Okay. And a reminder for anyone who just joined us, please, if you're at all able to turn on your camera, we would love to see your shining faces. And I want you to just meditate for a moment on what brought you here. What is it? What has you show up in this moment today? When you said sacred silly, oh, what is that? And you showed up, you made time in your day, you cleared your schedule. What? Me, of course. What is it for you? I love that. Thank you, Lynn. How sweet. What is it for you? What do you want to get out of it? 2 or 3 words. Type it in the chat. Type it in the chat. What do you want to get out of this time? Out of my wisdom, out of this container, out of the group experience? What energetic transmission, what information? Just throw it in the chat. Let's see. The Egyptians were right about, wow, I don't even know what that's in relation to. You, of course, that's so sweet. Fun, baby face, laughter, new ideas, inspiration, honoring, silliness, more sacred silly, more of the time. Yes, totally. Inspiration, how to find the humor in a situation that isn't typically funny. Fantastic. Engagement, interactive fun. Awesome. Ideas on bringing a little humor into my talks. Fantastic. That is a great thing to come for. How to tell hard things in ways that promote joy. Laughter is amazing medicine. New insights, hints on being funny, exploring comedy because so many people have told me I should be a comedian. Oh, cool. Connection with others, lightness, humor in the sacred story. So good. More of my magic fairy dust. Yes, Isabella. You find storytelling the only way to get important messages across. Is the only way to get important messages across, but funny is better. I like that, Vivian. I heard this when I became a laughter yoga teacher, and who knows if it's true, but it sure sounds good. I heard that in the 5 seconds after we laugh, our brain has the plasticity, the elasticity of a 5-year-old. So as soon as that laughter happens, and you have, whether you've brought 2 ideas together or people are just, just laughing spontaneously, this brain opens up. There's a portal that opens and new connections can be made, new neuronal connections, new ideas, new synapses firing, perhaps old ones, old grooved, heavy grooved ones can begin to move out and move in a new way. Funny is a way to tell truth to power without losing your head. Yes, bringing light to, some would say, a very dark time, learning how to gently bring healing to the world. Yes. All right, so we're getting into the groove. I want to have us do a journal exercise, and you can take out a notebook or you can bring, you can write on your computer if you want. We'll just spend a couple minutes and feeling into that energy of that baby laughing, or whatever it is, that feeling that has you open and relax. Opening and relaxing. That's the first place to come from when you want to start to bring humor. So, what is it that makes you laugh? And how often does it happen? Is it once a week? This is a journal for you. We won't share it quite yet. You can just have it for yourself. Maybe it's once a month. Maybe you only laugh one time a month. How painful is that to think about? But it could happen maybe many times a day. Maybe you have kids and you giggle with them all the time, or you have parents and you laugh at them, or I don't know. What makes you laugh? What specifically? When you think about those big gut laughs, those big belly laughs, one of my secrets is that having done stand-up comedy for a couple decades, I'd be at the club and stop laughing. I stopped laughing at comedy. I would go, oh, that's funny. And I'd go, wow, I'm really jealous. I wish I wrote that. No laughter, nothing in the body. That's when I started teaching laughter yoga, because I was like, I need to come back. But my secret guilty laughing pleasure is just like when they would have America's Funniest Videos, and like people, like the people at the wedding, and they would be dancing and their pants would fall down, and like just really, really visceral, just like, cats jumping off something and missing the ledge, not getting hurt, but like these, the rapid fire, like pants fall down, cat falls, like over and over and over, like da 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 da, and they edit it to the William Tell Orchestra, and it's like, comes to a crescendo, and I find myself, it's like there's something so deeply visceral that just in me, like bypasses my brain and gets into my nervous system, and I start laughing so hard that I spill into tears. And not funny tears, but like tears of grief. And so I find myself laughing and alternating between this laughter, tears, and like just full on catharsis. And for me, like not having something like that in my life is it's sad. And when I realized, wow, it's been too long since I actually watched a movie last week, and I laughed so hard I started to cry, and it was just like, this is a really powerful force. I know we're talking more about, the experience of laughing than the comedy itself. We're laying the groundwork. We're getting to the how-to. It's so important that you get how important not taking yourself seriously is. Yes. So let's see in the chat box. Yeah. Let's see in the chat box what makes you laugh. I want to read it. What makes you laugh? Animals, sarcasm, yes, deep connection with others. The reason I tell you about the America's Funniest Videos is that, like, to not shame yourself, to not shame yourself about what makes you laugh, because there is something that is not connected to our brain or our sense of morality or justice or goodness. It's like, first, just get to the laughter, get to something that touches you, that bypasses your brain, that bypasses everything else and brings you into that space of catharsis, relaxation, trust, and open-heartedness. And from that place, more things open up. So much opens up from this place. Everything changes. Everything, your whole perspective shifts. And we're going to do, pretty soon, we're going to do an exercise I created that pretty much I think is like my favorite creation. And it's called the Alchemy of Laughter. We're going to do it in breakout rooms. It's really fun and really powerful. And it's better if you can have your video on so that you can talk with another person. It's a few minutes each, and I'll guide you step by step through it. And now I'm going to read some of these things. So that's the preview of what's about to happen. Okay. So animals, deep connection with others. I love it. Rosalind says the absurd and the unexpected. Yes. And what you find absurd. So important. Rosalind, I'm going to take a moment and address having said that this is, I'm dropping a lot of nuggets, but let's just say formally, this is my first of 3 comedy secrets. Number 1, comedy is in the eye of the beholder. What you find funny is the most important thing. There is nothing else that matters if you don't find it funny. All right, it's what makes us unique and not cliche. All right, continuing. Judy, making connection between unexpected topics and behavior. Claire says, I laugh when I realize how ridiculous I've been. That is the key. Taking something too seriously, or just really, embarrassing myself and later realizing I'm human and actually realizing it was quite funny. That's really the key, Claire. That is it. You've stumbled upon, or you've clearly found the key. Cindy says animals and babies. Tickles, yes, that's a good one. Aura, being served food I do not like. Okay, that's great. Time with nieces and nephews, yes. High humor, intellectual jokes and stories. Go, Celia, yes. Recent show about funny animals. Dog chewing, yes. When you can relate to someone else's embarrassment, totally. Other people laughing. That's a wonderful one. When I lead laughter yoga, it's great I love laughing at other people's laughter. Poking at sacred cows, also a favorite. Meeting new people and having fun. Yes. Playing a game, being a stickler for rules. Yes. A friend who lives in a world in which there are no inanimate objects. Wow, that's awesome. She talks to the vacuum cleaner, the bird, the dishes. Leah, when I'm with her, talks to the trees. So that's fun. She has whole conversations with the trees. The trees are like whole characters to her. It's so fun to watch. It just cracks me up. Trees flirt with you, Leah. Trees do, like, it's full on. It's full on. Can I share that? I exposed that.
It was a special moment.
Absurdity, families, pets, friends, irony, yes. Yes, groups of 2 it will be. People telling a joke and messing it up, family bloopers. Yes, I love it. You guys are good at laughing. And so, like, hold your hand up if you laugh every day. Yeah. I mean, I don't always. Hold your hand up if you laugh at least every week. Yeah. Hold your hand up if you laugh every hour. Aura. Okay. Aura is going to teach the next masterclass on Sacred Silly. Okay. Awesome. So just getting in the frame of how do I put myself in the context of laughter? Like, I know, ask how often. Oh yeah. Okay. So how often do you laugh out of control? like or laughs out of control. I would say for me it's like once a month, which is pretty rough. Elaine and Lynn, yeah, okay. Let's see. Let's do the second secret, and then we're going to do the alchemy of laughter. The second secret is that comedy is a science and an art. Now, the science part is basically math. You basically have to learn algebra to write a joke. I'm terrible at algebra, but it took me 25 years, but I now can write a joke. And basically, learn what a premise is and begin formulating premises all the time. A premise is a submission, a broad sweeping statement that we can all get on board with, whether we experience it or not. So it's just a little taste. Just write that down. Learn what a premise is. Once you have a premise, you can have a punchline. Learn how to write a premise. As soon as you tell a premise, people want to laugh. They're ready. Tell me the joke now. They're on board. A premise. I like my men like I like my coffee. That's a premise. You're ready now. You're primed. You're ready for the joke. I'm not going to tell the joke. You can fill in the blank. There's so many versions of it. You can write your own. I like my men like I like my coffee. Yay. Why is that funny? It's funny to me. Okay. Here we go. Alchemy of laughter. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into breakout rooms in a moment. And I am going to type instructions. I'm going to explain to you how it works now. And then every time you're going to do something new, I'm going to type the instruction for what to do. And so I will guide you all along the way. You're going to take your first time, and person A will go first, and we'll do all of the talking, basically. And person A will do the responding and some of the talking too. And then person B will get their turn to do the same exercise. So you're going to think of a situation in your life, something that is challenging to you right now or in the past, something that you find frustrating or annoying. It should be, not something that is so rough that like it makes you cry right now, like something that is not kind of gonna trigger a trauma response, not like someone dying. Try to put that thing aside for another moment. We're not going to try to make humor with that. Something like a parking ticket, that kind of level, or a crunchy thing that happened. Does that make sense? You're going to rate how much suffering you're having over it on a scale of 1 to 5. So think about this event. It should be an event, not a vague kind of amorphous relationship or a thing. It should be a thing that happened. And rate how much suffering, 1 to 5. How is it? And then the first person is going to tell it. I'll give you about a minute. Only you're not going to just tell it like normal. You're going to tell the story, but you're going to exaggerate it so that you really, really get into how awful it was and how big a victim you are. It was really, really bad. And really, you're going to exaggerate it, not just with your words, but also with your movements and your body. And you're going to use your voice, and you're going to really enjoy how just really it was. The second person, person B, is going to listen very clearly and fully, because you are then going to mirror it back and tell the story back to them. You can tell it in first person or third person, doesn't matter. You choose. Tell the story back to them. And now, the first person, you're going to share one line, one thing, not a whole treatise, but just one sentence of insight about how it was hearing your story back. What did you get out of it? What was ironic? What was absurd? What was silly? What was profound about your story? And then after that one line, no big talking, oh, I realized this, blah, 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 just one thing. Right after that, you're going to laugh together for 20 seconds. You're going to relax your throat. You're going to open your mouth, and together, whatever feeling you're having, just let the ha sound come out. So ha 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 ha. It'll probably be like this, ha 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 ha. Or maybe it'll be a little more free. Anybody have questions? Leah, I would say pair me with someone if you need to, but I have to write instructions out. So I'll be writing the instructions along the way. I will tell you how much time you have and what to do when. You're gonna get in with a partner, and if you can turn your video on, that would be great. If your partner isn't responding because they're not really here and they're just sort of listening, then come back into the group, or we'll try to pair you with someone else or figure something out. Shall we do this?
I would actually say, please just stay in the room, because we quickly go around and move you around as soon as we see who's in the room, and it gets hard if you pop out.
Okay, don't pop out. Stay where you are.
Stay where you are. And I'm just getting everyone together, because I can already see things. So wait one moment.
Awesome. And it's possible I may even be able to do the audio instead of typing it out. We'll see how it goes. I'll either type to you, or I will talk to you and let you know what to do when. And so you don't have to remember how to do it.
All right, rooms coming in now.
You have me in a breakout.
It was yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a little bit wild keeping up with your little directions, but we did pretty well.
Good.
We're pros now. We'd know even more next time.
Good. Welcome back, Judy and Chelsea. I know we have just a few minutes left, but well, I'm super curious what people's experience was. Did you have insight? So I'll just give a map of what the purpose of this is. It puts together your storytelling, your lived experience, your embodiment and somatic experience of a story. It has you repeat a story to start to desensitize yourself to it, but you're still in it. It has you be able to separate and get perspective on your story. It has you be in relationship to another person and feel witnessed and heard. It has you take yourself less seriously. Finding insight allows you to make new connections, and then laughing is the thing that that rewires your brain, and you're doing it with another person, and you're getting mirrored and loved and witnessed. And so there's a whole lot of different elements to this exercise, and hopefully it's fun. And I like to just play the game of, rate your pain or suffering from in the beginning and the end, And I get really curious. Number one, what was your experience? And number two, did your pain go up or down? I would love to hear from a few people, just, like a sentence or two about what it was like for you. What did you notice? What did you get out of it? Anybody want to share? And if you're open, yeah, Clemmy, if you're willing to just kind of keep it to 20 seconds or so we can hear from a few people, that would be great.
Yeah. What I noticed was when it was coming back to me is that she took my ramble and made it into a coherent story. And so that was really nice to see, like, the framing and the construction after the fact. And also, coincidentally, both of us have traumatic brain injuries, because we were joking at the beginning that I don't have minor problems. I have traumas to work off of. So it was really, really fun. And I do feel better.
Amazing. You felt better after. I mean, it's kind of cool how quick you can feel better. Not that it necessarily is a long-term fix, but I do think, it is a healing mechanism. So glad that you had that experience and connection. And I encourage you all to take this home with you and play with it. Kat.
Yeah, I interpreted the rating your pain to your story, because the story I chose, because I thought the story was to have an experience of pain. So I rated my pain as how much pain I was in my story. So I didn't have a connection about what pain I was in about it right now. And then because I wear bifocals, I could not see or read the little content that you had coming up. So if it was really coming up, I would have. Also, it's hard to read and pay attention to what someone's saying in the group when you're supposed to be trying to actively listen. And if you're trying to read instructions while that's going on, you can't really.
There's a lot there. So I apologize.
Maybe if that happens.
Yes.
Or if there's maybe a little example of.
I'll see if I can.
Beforehand, like a quick little example. Before going to the breakout room. Here's a 1-minute video of an example of what this breakout exercise involves.
That's a great idea. And I'll see if I can share the instructions with Leah so that she can share them if we have a post-class email. Thanks, Kat. And 808, someone in Hawaii is raising their hand.
Yes, this is Catherine B. Thank you so much for this. I feel so much better. You had told us don't deal with somebody dying. Well, my partner's father had just died and my estranged husband is dying. And I was like, we were both trying to do the sort of, the right thing or the wrong thing for the right reason. And all the while I was stuck in traffic trying to get home so I could get on video. And so I told this joke about, I'm writing down what you're saying. I'm driving fast to get home. And I'm like, oh God, Catherine, you're going to kill yourself. And I'm like, it's okay, honey, because we'll die laughing. And so I got back to my house. And then we did the jokes, our stories about the dying. But really the funniest part for me was listening to my partner's father's death, which was hilarious. And the fact that I'm disappointed my husband isn't dying faster, because really I need to divorce him. And I just have never dared to do that. And now he seems to be having remission and living. And I'm like, God, I've got to tell him now if he lives, I'm going to need to divorce him. And so it was just these really heavy stories, but I feel better because the suffering was more funny, that it was a 4.5 out of 5 that I couldn't get home age 61 for my first comedy workshop than my husband dying or my estranged husband dying of stage 4B cancer. And which was really, I've stopped suffering about that. I just sort of want it to be over, but it was more agonizing to not get to be on video and show up for the thing. So I feel so much better. I've laughed so much during my time with my partner. Thank you.
I'm so glad. Thank you so much, Catherine. And, I like to give that sort of, cautionary disclaimer, because I don't want to, have people go into trauma, but you know what you're doing, and you trust yourself, and you go into the thing that's the most painful. That's what I do as a comedian on stage. I say I'm a professional, don't try this at home, but but yeah, that was amazing. Leah says that was the best laugh you've had all week. I love it. Mandian says, I'm not saying your name properly, probably, but you say it was an amazing, hands down, beautiful. And so, if you want to continue with your partner, send them a chat or put your contact info if you want to play that game again. This is, I guess it's time to wrap up, but I just want to say, I teased you with 3 comedy secrets. So let me see if I can just share the last one. The last one is just let yourself be foolish. You have to act like a fool. If you are unwilling to be an adult, then and you let your judgment stop you from finding that humor, then you're censoring yourself, and you don't figure out what kind of fool you are, and then you don't get to have the fun that the fool has. So really, act a fool is the last secret. So you all did that very beautifully in this last exercise. I'm sorry if the instructions were a little complicated, and I hope that you play this game at home. We're gonna have a sacred silly workshop in February, and Leah's gonna let you know when that is. And I would love to have you come and do a workshop of mine, come and play with me, come and see a comedy show. Leah, can I share my website?
Please. And do you have any shows coming up soon?
I have a show in the Bay Area in Fairfax on September 30th. So if you live in Fairfax or nearby in Northern California, come see the Ridiculum curriculum. Raina Satori is organizing it, and I do happen to have a Stand-Up 101 starting tomorrow. So if you're curious about that, you can find it on the interweb. And I am just absolutely excited, and I hope every one of you comes to the February workshop. It's a day-long sacred silly, and we're gonna play like this together and go a little more into the art of stand-up and comedy, and just give you a deeper understanding of how to take things that are not so funny and find ways to find the humor. This is, I think, recorded. Leah, you're gonna share that?
It is recorded. We'll be sending it along. And we'll send it along with a link to that class that Alicia just mentioned, and hopefully a link to the ridiculum. I can't even say it. It's so ridiculous.
Curriculum.
That thing. And I can tell you that I'm having show jealousy over here. It's not even envy. It's just full-blown jealousy that I so want to see it so bad. But you don't bring it to LA. We gotta have a little sit-down chat about that. But
we gotta get my shows going in LA. That's the next thing.
But anyway, as you got a taste of Alicia, she's not only a fantastic performer and a very generous and talented comedian, but she's also a fantastic teacher. And you will have an opportunity just to really activate the places in yourself, the caverns in yourself that you might not know how to access. And, one of the main themes for the School for Sacred Storytelling is, we put a lot of focus on how to work with story as a tool for healing and transformation. How do we get to it? And some of those other classes, it's so serious. We do wisdom stories, we do vision stories, I'm making fun of myself. We do all those things, and we get in there, and it's good. It's really good. And then you get to have this kind of thing where you get to find the levity and the joy and the pleasure. Seriously, I've never laughed so hard about cancer. And, it's like finding this way to love our lives in ways that are perhaps outside the scope of imagination in the times that we most need it. So I cannot wait for Alicia to be part of this. And if you are feeling like you just need more, I understand, and you've got an hour break, and then we'll be coming back at 5 o'clock for Hawatia, and she's beaming in from Australia, and she'll be teaching Indigenous techniques around how to listen for and catch your stories in a very different kind of class to keep it a very well-rounded experience. And then stay tuned for tomorrow's curriculum. We've got just amazing, once again, a full day of amazing classes. So Alicia, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. What a joy and a pleasure to be with you. And what I recommend is maybe everyone can just put something in the chat box that you received. How are you feeling right now? Maybe that's a good one. What is alive in you? And as we do that, it's a gift to our teachers to give a little love notes in there. And as we do that, taking yourselves off mute and giving a little shout out to Alicia. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
thank you.
Thank you, Alicia. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Much.
See you later.
Thank you. We got some laughter going. Oh, I have to pee from laughing so much. Love it. Deeper level of peace. Yes. Oh, feeling lighter and appreciating how easy it can be to turn a frustrating situation into comedy. Wow, that's the magic. That is it. Love it.
Alicia. Okay, more soon, everyone. Looking forward to more soon. Bye.